Hey there, clan, and welcome to First Impressions, where I give you my first impressions on a game that I've been playing recently. And in today's installment, I'm going to be giving my first impressions on Middle-earth Shadows of Mordor, or Mordo. Yeah, I'm just going to give you my overall first impressions. I've been playing it for about 2-3 days now, and overall, yeah, I'll give you my thoughts after, of course, we play the intro. Enjoy! Okay, firstly, of course, we got to talk about the hype to Shadows of Mordor. This game was fairly hyped for quite some time. It was announced roughly a year or two ago, and it came with some mixed responses. Some people were really excited for it, other people were not excited for it due to the fact that it wasn't based on the books or the movies, and that is that Shadows of Mordor is a completely original story set in the Lord of the Rings universe, or the Middle-earth universe. That's why, in my opinion, that's why I think they went with the Middle-earth title and not Lord of the Rings, because it doesn't have anything to do really with Lord of the Rings beyond a couple of things. I'll say that right now. It is more a story set in Middle-earth, and yeah, I agree with the decision with that. I'm going to say that right now. I think that Middle-earth has much more stories in it that you could do any amount of stories in this universe without involving the rings, but beside the point. But yeah, a couple of people were a bit mixed on it, and then as the trailer slowly came out, they started announcing various combat things, and of course the Nemesis system, which was the biggest draw for a lot of people, me personally, because I was really interested in how they could implement this Nemesis system. So firstly, of course, I'll give my overall thoughts. I will be no spoilers in this, by the way. I'll try and avoid spoilers at all, completely. I will try my damnedest, then maybe one or two, but yeah. So, firstly, of course, I'm going to talk about the story, and then I'm going to talk about the other stuff, but so far I am enjoying the story. If you don't know, you play the character of Talion, who is on this really awesome steel tin cover, who was a ranger of Gondor at the Black Gate, and he becomes possessed by a wraith through means I won't mention, in case you haven't seen the trailers. And subsequently, this wraith has no memories, and you're trying to find the wraith memories, as well as get revenge on the person that basically kind of did you some very nasty shit. Okay, this was in the trailer, sorry for some minor spoiler, who killed your wife and child in front of you. There you go, that's the it's basically a revenge story, but it's implemented very well. It's very well done so far. The story's interesting. Talion himself has one major problem, and it's a problem that is very common. He looks like Aragorn. Like, I think this was probably a higher up decision, but he has some glaring similarities to Aragorn, and that's a problem for me personally. I would have preferred if they'd went with a completely original character, and while Talion is original to an extent, you can tell that they were either influenced or they were coerced. The developers of this, who were, sorry, this is I can't remember the developers, Monolith, who were told by the higher ups, by Warner Brothers, to have Aragorn basically in it. Talion has some very similar things to Aragorn. That he has his own character, but there's no escaping it. He has some glaring similarities to Aragorn. But the story overall is interesting. I'm very interested in finding out more about this wraith. I don't know if this would be considered a spoiler or not, because it has been in the trailers, and it was announced. It's been in the launch trailers and all that. But the wraith is Celebrimbor, and if you don't know who he is in the Lord of the Rings mythos, he's the person that forged the rings of power, including the one ring to rule them all. The ring, of course, the Lord of the Ring. And basically he's brought back from the dead in a way as a wraith possessing Talion. And I can't really say anything else without going into spoilers. As is this, I kind of wish they didn't tell you who the wraith was until you played the game, but it was announced in a trailer somewhere. So yeah, it's Celebrimbor, which for Lord of the Rings fans is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to say this right now: the story doesn't really have anything to do with the Lord of the Rings. or The Hobbit. It's its own original story, but it does take some elements in it. Some people who have read it have said that it takes a lot more from the Silmarillion, which is another thing set in the Lord of the Rings universe by Tolkien, which apparently is such a bore to fucking read. I've not even attempted it. I might attempt it in the future, but apparently it has more from the Silmarillion than it does the other previous books or the movies. And I'm happy with that. I would rather them take from something that hasn't been adapted into a movie yet. There are some similarities to the movies, and it says there's a couple of references here or there, including Gollum being in it. But really, as I say, it's still its own story, and I do like that bit. But I like it so far. The story's interesting, and I'm kind of want to see where it's going. And I have to give major props to the voice actors in this. There's, of course, we've got Nolan North, Troy Baker, we've got Claudia Black. We have Jennifer Hale doing a monologue at the start of the game, which is awesome. I think it's Jennifer Hale. It sounds like her. And there are others whose names I am forgetting, of course. And of course, I've got to give major props to everyone who voiced the orcs, including Nolan North. You can tell he voiced the orcs, and probably Troy Baker as well. Troy Baker? Yeah, Troy Baker. And the voice acting is superb. This is definitely worthy of a Lord of the Rings, of a Middle-earth franchise. The voice acting is superb. They really got some really talented voice actors to do this, and I'm very happy with that. Yeah, you can tell who Troy Baker is, you can tell who Nolan North is, because Nolan North kind of does his Cobblepot impression sometimes for the orcs and the Uruk-hai, or Urks, whatever the fuck whatever the fuck they're called. I call them Uruk-hai. But yeah, well done to the voice actors. I love them so far. There's not been a bad performance so far, and I gotta give major props to the person that's voicing Gollum. Spot on impression, and I mean spot on. If I didn't know better, I'd say it was Andy Serkis. So yeah, I would definitely say that. The voice acting is superb. The graphics, of course, look great. The graphics overall look great. It is a beautiful game. I got it on PlayStation 4, if you're wondering. The only problem I have is Talion himself. He looks plastic. He looks like an action figure. In cutscenes, at least. And I don't know if that's a problem with the engine, or maybe they changed him at the last minute, but he looks plastic, and I don't like it. So, yeah, that's an aesthetic thing. But, of course, I have to talk about the gameplay and the Nemesis system so far with my experience with it. The gameplay is very Batman Arkham. It's the Arkham series gameplay. One button to attack, one button to counter, and a combination of buttons to do special moves. That's the combat in a nutshell, and I'm going to say this right now. A lot of people have tried to copy where are you? A lot of people have tried to copy the combat from Batman, the Arkham series, and failed miserably. But Shadows of Mordor does it well. I'm a big advocate of if it ain't broken, don't fix it. And also, as long as you take something good from something and put your own twist onto it, I don't mind you copying. And that's what I like about the Shadows of Mordor's combat. It's very reminiscent of the Arkham series. It's very reminiscent of it, but it does add its own little flair to it here there with wraith powers, of course, and also the fact that you actually do kill things in this. Yeah, you kill a shit ton. I have never seen so many ways you can kill an Uruk-hai or behead one. I have not seen. There are a lot of death animations in this game, and I'm still finding new ones, and I'm easily maybe 8 to 12 hours into the game so far. There are a lot of death animations in this game, and it's absolutely brilliant. And also there are 2 death animations, stealth death animations, sorry, 3 stealth death animations, brutalized death animations, and also executions. The brutal ones are gore. Oh, they are brutal by the sense. You'll stab your dagger right into a guy's spine, rip it down, spin him round, stab him in the heart, pull it back out, stab him in the throat, and then stab him back in the head. I think he's dead at that point, I think. He didn't get up, but I don't know. But very brutal, and it takes no shits with how many different ways you can kill these things. And it's glorious. I love it. It's very good. And I gotta give a major props to the combat. Even though it is a blatant copy of Batman Arkham, the Arkham series, it still adds something different to it to make it enjoyable. So the combat's enjoyable. There are some Assassin's Creed elements in here for stealth, but it's more, I'll say it's more based on the Arkham series than the Assassin's Creed series. There is some stealth elements in the game, and you can play some missions purely stealth, but it's much more fun just to go in and fucking kill things. There are some stealth-orientated missions in which you cannot be detected, which is good. Now, I've mostly been doing the side content. There is a lot of side content in this game. Collectibles, which flush out the lore of the Lord of the Ring, lore of Middle Earth, and also this game, that tell you backstories and all. There's collectible elven. Okay, imagine the door of the door of Moria from the movies. If you've seen it, there is something like this in the game where you find these elven phrases around the area. You collect them, and it's going to open some of them. I'm only missing 3 or 4 of them, and I think I can get them within my next session. I decided to take a break today. I could have probably got them today, but I wanted to take a little break. And there are also other wee collectibles here or there. But most of the side content is put into the Nemesis system, in which you have to basically build your Urukai army, or your Orc army. Excuse me. And the Nemesis system is implemented very well. I'm going to say that right now. It's implemented really well. There are some problems, but I am impressed with the fact that this Nemesis system has evolved the way it is. If you don't know how it works, basically there is a hierarchy of captains, elite captains, bodyguards, and war chiefs. And the whole point of the Nemesis system is that you want to control it. You want to... there will be specific Urukai that you have to kill. There'll be like Grunta, the bloodthirsty, or Bunka, the butcher, or various stupid fucking names, are randomly generated, you can tell, or Inkal, the slaver, or Tuna, the brother, or something along those lines. And your whole point is to get to the war chiefs. Now, the whole thing that they advertised was the branding thing, where you brand your handprint on them as a wraith, and you take control of them. You actually don't get that ability until about maybe halfway through the game. You actually don't get that until about halfway. If you do a lot of the side content, about 10 hours into the game. If you just do the main story, you could probably do it in 3. But you don't get that ability until fairly late into the... Not late into the game, but late-ish into the game. You still will get it. And at that point, you have to walk within the Nemesis system to take control of certain captains and get their power level up, because as they do like feasts, duels, executions, that kind of thing, and your job is to get someone you control to be the war chiefs, and there are 5 in total, and these war chiefs are tough. They will have at least 2 bodyguards, and these bodyguards are either just as tough as the war chief or just under a little bit tough, just a little bit less tough, but they are tough. And if you can't just say, right, I'm going straight after the war chief. Because if you go straight after the war chief, you will be destroyed by their bodyguards and the chief himself, because they are tough. If you just go straight after them, it'll be a tough-ass battle. You might be able to do it, but you'll probably die. And then you lose all your... Then time advances and you might lose your already dominated people. And I like that. I really, really like that it gives you... that you have to think while you're doing it. And it's really, really good at doing that. I give them major props for that. The way they also the Nemesis system work is, you will discover these people, these captains and all that, as you play through the game. Or you could gain intel on them by basically dominating various other enemies out there and gaining intel from them. But if you just stumble across them, you'll just get their name and that's it. But if you gain intel via intel or via interrogations, you will actually learn the captains or the war chiefs' strengths and weaknesses. For example, maybe you can't actually dodge. Maybe they've got a poison blade, or maybe they'll kill you if you drop below a certain point instantly, or maybe they're invulnerable to ranged attacks. But they're weak against fire, explosions. They can be killed instantly from a upward takedown, a stealth takedown, a combat finisher. Every one of them has a set amount of weaknesses, and you have to use those weaknesses to take advantage of them and make it a bit easier. If there's a war chief who's terrified of fire, you can just go in there and then get him towards a fire, set it off, he will burn and he will fucking freak out, be terrified, and then you can grab him and dominate him or kill him instantly. And you, as soon as you do that, you're rewarded with it. The Nemesis system rewards preparation, and this game rewards taking your time, studying your enemy, and then BAM! Delivering that final blow, and it's absolutely fantastic. I love it. And I also love another thing about the Nemesis system is the fact that if one of these captains, if you go after Tunkar the Bloodthirsty and he kills you because you're overwhelmed and you got a little bit too cocky, he will kill you and then time will advance and any other power struggles that were in there that will get resolved. But that particular Urukai, Tunkar the Bloodthirsty, will gain more power and renown. And say he was just a normal guy, a normal bad guy who was running us. He gets promoted to captain because he killed you. Then when you come back, you're like, right, I'm going after this fucking guy. And you go after him again, and you kill him. That's a revenge kill. He will remember you. Or, you can do what I did. Fail. There was one guy, I cannot remember, I think he was called the Slave Lover, or Fast Fee, and he killed me 5 times. 5 times he killed me. And he went up in the ranks like that. Boom, 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 boom. Until the point he was a war chief. So you know what I did? I killed him. Nah, I did kill him. I corrupted his bodyguards. And then I made one of his bodyguards betray him. And then I dominated him. And I made him my bitch. But due to the fact that he killed me so many times, he had a power level way higher than any other of the war chiefs or any other of his captains. So he was extremely powerful due to the fact that he killed me 5 times. And I was like, I'm not going to kill him. I'm going to make him my bitch. And he can be my war chief. And he will know that I made him my bitch. And it's such a satisfying feeling. I absolutely love that. Especially now, most of the time with the revenge kills, you'll just kill them. But if you get one, if one of them just constantly kills you over and over again, my ideal punishment is, I'm going to make you my fucking bitch, and you're going to do everything I tell you to do, okay? And it is glorious. I love it. It is absolutely fantastic, and I give major props. The Nemesis system is well implemented. The only problem with it, however, is a lot of the power struggle missions are one of 4 things. Executions, in which you either have to stop your guy being executed or let them execute someone. Feasts, in which it's just a celebration. Hunts, in which they're going on a hunt, or some kind of proving thing in which they go up against a monster or a group of enemies and have to kill them, otherwise they lose power. The missions are very repetitive. That is the only problem I have with the Nemesis system, and I understand why it's repetitive. It has to be in some instances. But it's very repetitive, and most of the time I don't feel like doing them, but I do them to get my guys more powerful. Now, do I have any other problems with the game overall? The gameplay, as I say, is okay. Story is interesting so far. It's really, really good. I'm liking the characters, the voice actors. So far, my overall impressions of the game is, so far it's lived up to what it promised, while still having some minor issues here or there. I am enjoying it, and I do have a lot of fun playing it. I will try and get my Wii On review out of it, probably maybe by the end of this week. I'm just going to sit down maybe today and tomorrow to try and actually beat the game, but I'm taking my time with it. I want to enjoy this game, and I am thoroughly enjoying the game, and I love this. I love this cover. Sorry, this is I'm in love with this cover. This is awesome. But yeah, I give major props to Monolith. They've done a great job so far, and so far I don't have any problems with the game. Other than a couple of wee minor cosmetic issues. But yeah, I think that's where I'll wrap up. I will try and get the review out as soon as possible, but other than that, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're playing Shadows of Mordor, let me know what your thoughts are so far. No spoilers, and no spoilers are going to be instantly banned. But let me know what your thoughts are. I think I'll wrap things up there, so thank you for watching this impression. And as always, I'm ScottishWarrior92. I'll see you on next time. Ciao for now. Hey there, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, regardless of whatever the video topic was about, because I know I'm a complete nut tit sometimes. If you want to check out any of my other further content, all you have to do is click on the little Scottish Warrior 92 thing down in the bottom there to take you to the channel and check out the rest of my videos. If you want to follow me on any of my social medias, it's just Scottish Warrior 92 everywhere else. And also, if you want to help support the channel, all you have to do is pop the link in the description to my Patreon page, patreon.com/Scottish Warrior 92, in which if you feel like my content is worth it, you can donate $1 a month to help continue to support this channel and help me make this into a full-time gig. Feel free to go check out the Patreon page to make sure it is to your liking and you actually want to spend $1 a month on this shitty channel. Thank you for watching. Again, as always, I am Scottish Warrior 92, and I hope you'll stick around and may even join the clan by clicking that subscribe button. Thank you. Mwah.